guys, it's Tracy. Welcome to today's video. I'm excited to share my American flag primitive country Americana bowl fillers with you. They're pretty simple to do, so let's go ahead and get started. I picked up this pack of brown bags from my local grocery store, and these are some of the supplies I'm using to create these brown bag American flag bowl fillers. All right, so then what I'm going to do is cut off the bottom part of the brown bag right before the crease, and I was going to use my scissors but decided it was easier just to pull out my paper trimmer to trim off that bottom part. Then to glue those flaps down, I just used some hot glue just so that they would be all glued down. And so then what I'll do is I'll cut this in half, and then that will give me the two flags that I need for my bags. So I'm going to be using the Mod Podge heat transfer method, and if you're not familiar with that, that is just to put a layer of Mod Podge on your surface, dry that up. You can let it dry, air dry, or I speed it up just with my heat tool. And then I'm going to be working on one side first, and then I'll flip it over and make it do the other side, just so that I have a two-sided flag. And so right here what I'm doing is there's one side that is open, or both sides are open, but I want to close one of them before I start working on it so that I know which side is the open one. And so this red and cream ticking fabric is something that I had on hand. I've had it for many years. I'm not quite sure where I got it from, but guys, you can get homespun fabric like this at Hobby Lobby. You can get it at Joann Fabrics. You can get it at Walmart. And also there is an online shop that I have found called Jubilee Fabric that you can get wonderful homespun fabrics just like this. So I will have a link in the description, or you can see exactly what it is right there on the screen. All right, so then I just ripped off a piece of the ticking fabric, just the size that I wanted, and then I'm going to go ahead and use a piece of parchment paper just as a barrier, a buffer, and then the little heating tool, the iron that I'm using is called a Cricut mini press. This is just something that I had on hand, and that's what I use as my little mini iron, just for my projects. And so then sometimes I don't get my fabric. Most often I do not measure my fabric correctly. And so I just cut it off, and just to get a bit of the, jagged, tattered edges, I just take my sanding sponge just on the edges just to tatter them up a bit more. And then once that side is dry, then I'll work on the other side, doing the same thing just by putting a layer of Mod Podge, drying that up, putting my red ticking fabric on, and then both sides are ready to go with that. Then what I'll do is with the stars fabric, now this fabric I got at Hobby Lobby recently this year, and so then what I do is I just do the same thing. I put some Mod Podge on it, rip off, tatter up the piece that I want, put it up there in the corner, and I have an American flag bowl filler that's ready to be distressed and perfect for my Americana primitive country decor. To distress my American flag bowl fillers, what I did is just took my distress ink in my finger dauber. It's a little sponge on the end of a little plastic thing that fits over your finger. You can find those in the stamp section at any craft store, or they have them online on Amazon. And so what I do is I just go over it just to give it a little bit of distressing, and then I want to crinkle it up a bit more so that I kind of have some folds in it, or just some bends. And then I'm just taking some polyfill, some stuffing. You can use an old pillow or something like that, or something else that you want to stuff your flag with, and then just stuff that in there, and then I just glue that down just like that. This part is totally optional, but if you like a little grunge to your Americana primitive country bowl fillers, I achieve that by just adding a little bit of Mod Podge in certain areas, sprinkle on a little bit of cinnamon, kind of smooth that out a little bit. I let it dry completely like the next day. They look really, really good, and I love them so much. Again, that's totally optional if you are not into the primitive grunge. This next step is optional as well, but I just want to share what I did for my American flag bowl fillers. Now, I wanted a little bit of extra pizzazz, and I achieved that with some glitter and some adhesive spray. That is just Elmer's adhesive spray that I got at one of the craft stores. And then the glitter is called Snow Flurry. I got that at Hobby Lobby. And so I just love how this just really makes my American flag bowl fillers sparkle just a little bit. For the little tags for my bowl fillers, I have some of these market tags that I've had on hand. You've seen me use these in previous videos. I just tea stained a bunch of them and then pull them out when I want to use them on a project. So I took my ultrafine Sharpie marker and just hand lettered USA. I am going to do freedom as well as liberty, and I do that with my like I said, my black Sharpie marker. This is the ultra fine version, and I do some little stitching around the edges. I also crumple it up and use my vintage photo distress ink just to grunge it up or distress it a bit more, because that is my style, that is my look, and that's what I like. All right, so then for the like a little extra, like I didn't want like a big bow or anything like that, so I just have some cheesecloth that I have also coffee stained, and you know, I just cut that up, and I got this cheesecloth at the grocery store. I think it was Walmart. And all I did was just coffee stain it, put it in coffee, let it dry, and then I just cut it into pieces and use it for a small projects like this. And so here what I'm doing is I just took my small tag as well as a rusty safety pin and a rusty jingle bell that I had on hand just to give it a little bit more interest for my American flag bowl fillers. So here what I decided to do is hand letter freedom as well as liberty, and so then that tag is a little bit too big, so I just cut that down with my scissors and then again attach it to the corner of each of the flags with a rusty safety pin as well as a little jingle bell. And how I style my bowl fillers is just in a dough bowl. I have several sizes and I just figure out which one I want to use. I just add some polka pods in with it as well. It's kind of like primitive country potpourri. I just put my little wooden spindles and my other little creative things that I have in my primitive country Americana home. I will leave you some videos here that you might like to see as well. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your support. We'll talk to you in the next video. God bless you and have a great day.